This right here is the OSEE Lilmon 5. This is a 5.5 inch monitor that costs $189 and it packs a punch. With tons of features, a bunch of video assist tools, an amazing menu system, this little monitor is definitely taking the cake for the budget filmmaking category. Now, there is a couple gripes I have about this monitor, but let's start off talking about a couple things that I love. So diving right into this, when you're opening this box, you have the Apple marketing open box, which I'm kind of getting a little bit annoyed if I'm being real here. All tech gear for some reason is the slow open for this big reveal of what you're getting, which is kind of getting annoying whenever I'm opening a ton of boxes and it's all super slow, but that's besides the point. So what you're getting inside this box, obviously the OSEE Lilmon 5-inch monitor, a swivel arm, and then the best menu system I have ever seen. Now, one of the first things I actually love about this monitor isn't even the monitor itself, it's this little thing right here, the quick video start guide. Now, this quick little video start guide is the best menu system that I've ever seen come with any camera gear whatsoever. It has everything you need to know in this layout, all the features, how to work everything in a one-page thing in English and I think in Chinese. Now, with that note, you aren't actually getting an NPF battery. So you do need to buy your own NPF batteries or have your own NPF batteries just in case. Now, I can leave a link in the description for this battery right here. This is a big NPF battery, but it gets me about 4 hours of use at like 80% like brightness level on this monitor, and I highly recommend it. You get 2 of them for 36 bucks. Now let's start off with the physical build. Now this is kind of a hard plastic all around. It does come with the swivel arm, but I'm not a huge fan of the swivel arm. It's kind of slanted, and with this huge NPF battery, I'm not able to turn the monitor all the way down. Now, with that said, this isn't a big gripe or a con against this monitor. That's just something to know. I would highly suggest getting something like this where you can pit on the bottom of your monitor and have a freely adjusted swivel monitor. Now, with that said, this is kind of an all plastic monitor, so I think the seam at the bottom of the monitor would eventually give out over time. What I would more highly recommend, but it does cost a lot more money, is pitting a NATO rail on the bottom of your monitor. Adding this little NATO rail allows you to kind of pit your hand whenever you tilt the monitor on the bottom of this, and it kind of protects this seam hopefully for a longer period of time, because again, this is a plastic, and if you're pitting any big batteries, this will eventually dip over time and break the more and more use you get out of this monitor. Now, on the back of the monitor, you do have a DC in if you want to power it, which honestly I really like. A lot of other monitors have some type of DC in on the bottom, which kind of makes it unusable whenever you pit any type of mount. On the back still, this is also one of my favorite things. Most monitors have the HDMI in and HDMI out on the sides, but this has it on the back, which makes it kind of nice and out of the way whenever I am filming anything. Now, this does have the NPF battery on the side, which is nice because it kind of evens out the weight of the monitor. Some other monitors have something where you can pit in an HDMI transmission on the side and the NPF battery, but then that kind of makes your monitor like off-sided and off weight. I like that how it's right in the middle. Then on the side, we got headphone jack and battery outs, and then on the bottom, an SD card slot to input LUTs directly into this camera monitor. Now, moving on to just a few features that I absolutely love about this monitor. There is absolutely a ton, but starting off with this monitor system is actually kind of the LUTs. Whenever you want to input any LUTs, most things when you input your LUT, it inputs it at 100%, but maybe you like that LUT being at 30%. For example, Dangyou teal and orange on this color grade right here is only at 30%, and that's kind of my taste and preference. You can input your LUT and then put your intensity of that LUT directly on this monitor. Most other monitors in this price range aren't able to do that. Now, on top of that, this monitor has a ton of other features built into it, from things like histogram, waveform, vector scopes, false color, crosshatch, customizing your frame markers, and a ton more. Now, one thing I particularly like about the system is the Swift OS, which is basically the menu system layout. What's nice about this is you can swipe right or left and change your menu systems. And if you click on the bottom right, it pulls up 8 different menu systems that you can access and switch from. One quick downside about this though is they make it kind of difficult to build menu systems and take them down. You can't easily copy and paste your menu system to another area, or you can't click and hold and drag your menu system over. You have to manually put your menu systems in a specific order, but the moment you do, it does make it easy to swipe right or swipe left to switch your menu systems. For example, you can have one menu system with false colors, one being a clean feed, and maybe one having a bunch of vector scopes and waveforms open. Now, on that note, talking about vector scopes and waveforms, the next features that I love is just the video assist tools that are built into this monitor. Most other competitor brands, whenever you turn on the waveforms or whenever you turn on vector scopes or peaking or even false colors, it's pretty inaccurate of description of what you're doing. And what's also cool about this, if say for example you were sending a log profile to this monitor, you can actually input your LUT and tell your camera to monitor with false colors before the LUT or after the LUT with the monitor. And on top of that, I noticed the peaking is actually really accurate. When I use a lot of other camera monitors, they are just like really impossible to see. Now everything is extremely customizable. You just click in this little up arrow at the bottom right here, clicking whatever you want to click. Maybe it's false colors, your LUT, peaking, waveforms, whatever you want to click or change. It's super customizable in this monitor right here. Now for color accuracy, I did notice that it felt like it was a little bit off, but I just kind of went into the settings of this monitor and I felt like I was able to get it pretty close to similar to what my camera monitor on my camera itself was seeing, and made it match pretty close. So it fairly seemed like it was really color accurate. The brightness on this monitor is pretty bright. It's 1000 nits, so you can easily be outside, being at 100% and being able to see your monitor with no problems. Now on a bright, super sunny day, it might be a little bit too dim, but overall 1000 nits is kind of the standard on where you want for a standard brightness on a monitor. The moment you go under 1000 nits at 700 or 500, it gets really hard to see what you're looking at if you're shooting in the middle of the day. Now with all that said, I do have actually a couple gripes with this monitor itself, and the first one is actually going to be starting off with the touchscreen. It felt like it was good, but it also felt a little bit sluggish at times, where I would have to be pressing things multiple times for it to respond, or there was just moments where if you want to pinch zoom, it was just really slow, and it would take a while to zoom in and then it would take a while to zoom out. So I think a little bit more responsiveness of this would make this monitor a lot better. But with that said, it's still really nice having all the settings that are built in this camera. Another little con and gripe I have with this camera monitor is kind of hidden settings. Now what I mean by this is if you want to go in and customize an individualized setting, you click that up arrow, and going over to the menu system, there sometimes is typically 3, but sometimes you have to swipe to the right to find the 4th menu system to increase the intensity of something. And sometimes there's nothing there. So it kind of seems like some settings and features are lost, but it's just because it's hidden behind another menu system that you have to swipe to the right to. I wish that they just condensed it to maybe 4 settings per thing, and you didn't have to swipe right when you need to customize a specific thing on a video assist tool. Now, my last con and gripe with this is this monitor takes a decent while to turn on and turn off. It takes about 3 to 5 seconds just to turn on and turn off this monitor, which isn't a game killer or whatever. It's not great, it's not terrible, but it's just something that it's when you are run and gun filmmaking, it is a little bit annoying having to wait 3 to 5 seconds for your monitor to turn on if you swapped batteries. So my final thoughts, would I recommend buying this monitor? Yes, but let me say this. If you are looking at monitors in that $300, $400 range, this monitor is not going to be the monitor that takes the cake. This monitor isn't going to be beating monitors that are higher quality like the Blackmagic video assist monitors or small HD monitors. This monitor is meant to be for budget filmmakers or people who are just looking for a sub $200 monitor. If you compare this monitor compared to other monitors that are in this price range, this monitor takes the cake easily. With all the professional video features, an amazing menu system layout, and a ton of crazy adjustments over your video assist tools, this is a highly recommended monitor. So a quick thank you for OSEE sending me out this monitor to test. They didn't pay me whatsoever. They just gave me this monitor to test out. So all my opinions in this entire video that I just said are honestly truthful. Like, I wanted to keep you this honest and real. This is a great monitor. There is a couple gripes. It's a little bit slow at times, but overall, if you're looking in a monitor for this price range, I would highly recommend it, and there will be links in the description below. And if you're curious about another great deal, I just reviewed $30 black mist filters by K&F Concept. You can check out that video right here, and then YouTube recommends you might like this video right here. Until next week, guys, peace.